Josh and Mika in a house. Turn the lights down low. Here we go. It's Wednesday night and the frights come alive. We're dropping screams with the jokes on the side. Monsters, killers, ghosts in the dark, but we're laughing while we're watching, that's a trademark. Wednesday night frights, we set the vibe. Josh and Mika keep the horror alive. Chills and thrills with the beat so tight. Every week we bring the shadows to life. So grab your popcorn, lock the doors. It's Wednesday night frights, let's explore.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Night Frights, where we crack open the coffin lid on what's haunting Hollywood right now. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, alongside, as always,
Mika G.
Mika G. Mika's back. Thank you to those of you that decided to hang out with me last week in the Mika-less episode. It was rough, but I talked for a while. Tonight, though, we've got some fun stuff, I think. Last week, I had mentioned on the show, Mika, that the Conjuring Last Rites is now, according to worldwide grosses, it's the #1 horror movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we know it's the biggest hit, that movie is supposedly, they're claiming, and we know how Hollywood is, but they're claiming that it's the last of the Conjuring movie, the last of the Ed and Lorraine Warren movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's this whole mega universe. Do you think it's the end of that universe or just the end of Ed and Lorraine Warren?
I think it's probably just the end of Ed and Lorraine because I mean they only did so many cases in real
Right.
life, so like you don't want to start making stuff up, based off of
Yeah.
based off of false information because
Sure.
then you basically are slandering the Warrens
Right.
names.
Yeah. And I do think that one way that they could go is Ed and Lorraine Warren are just the most famous American kind of ghost hunters. There are others throughout history, paranormal people that they could do other branches of this universe and do it through different eras and things and do a whole lot more. But
I think they should branch out like they've already have, like they did with Annabelle,
right.
they did with the Nun.
The Nun,
Focus on the other entities that
like
that
just
the
go
Warrens
through
came across.
Yeah,
They have a
the
whole
Warrens, the museum, right?
Yeah, they have a whole
just go through the
museum.
museum and tell the story of those different characters.
Right.
There's a couple of different haunted dolls. There's all kinds of haunted stuff that they have.
Right.
But so many are doing it. Like the Walking Dead universe is all over the place. So many offshoots and other greater universe. Blumhouse is now really getting into it with their modern monster universe with well, their Invisible Man was really good.
Oh, I like that movie. It was
But
really good.
so do you think that this is a good place for horror to be going with doing the expanded universe, sort of the comic book thing?
I mean, it works to a certain extent. Like it worked for the Conjuring. It worked for the Conjuring universe because they were able to do all that. Like they had other things that they could the other stories that they could tell, you know what I'm saying, based off the artifacts that were in the Warrens museum.
Absolutely.
But in reference to other like Blumhouse's remaking of all the Universal monsters, like that's great, but you can only do so many before you're gonna run out of material.
Right. And that's what happened to Universal in the first place. Like in the 30s and 40s. Eventually it just kind of runs its course. But I do think that Blumhouse did a much better job than Universal did when they tried to reboot that whole series.
Right.
But yeah, what about what I'm afraid of is that they're going to continue these, and then we're just going to get the superhero fatigue. As we're starting to see superhero movies, the Marvel movies aren't doing as well as they used to. The DC movies aren't, they don't have the length to keep going in the theaters. Is the same thing going to happen with all of these horror things? Because we've got a new Resident Evil getting ready to come out, so we're just rehashing the same old, same old. Are we just going to get sick of it, or is horror going to do what it always does and just keep winning? Like, horror is on a hot streak right now. Everybody wants to watch horror, but will that last?
So I would equate it to like the Saw franchise, right? In the beginning, we were all in.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then after a while, it was just like, how many times are you going to bring John Kramer back? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, or, we get a prequel, then we get a prequel to the prequel, and then we get a prequel, we get a prequel of the prequel, and then we get,
Yeah.
a sequel where he shows up as a ghost. And it's like, wait a minute, like,
And then we
you
have
know,
Spiral from the Tales of Saw. Like, and
exactly.
Chris
So
Rock
now you
is
got a spin
back.
off of
Yeah.
it. So it's like,
Yeah.
at some point you do get the fatigue. And it's not to say that the Conjuring universe didn't happen for the Conjuring universe either.
Mhm.
I think people just got tired of seeing the Warrens. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how many haunted houses are you going to go in and the same demon is there?
Right. It does seem like the Warrens were just really unlucky. That same demon just want to follow them everywhere.
Exactly.
Just wanna
So
keep-
with horror being what it is right now, with
Mhm.
horror being refreshed, with
Yeah.
with things like and The Long Walk is not a horror movie per se,
It's horror
but
adjacent.
it's horror adjacent because it's attached to Stephen King,
Mhm.
right? We
Yes.
have we have movies like that. We have movies like Bring Her Back. We have movies like
Mhm.
everything that's recent, like Sinners,
Right.
like we have
Oh, yeah.
we have these new
Mhm.
films that are coming out to show
Yeah.
that horror can be more than just
Right.
slashers
Yes.
and possession.
Yeah. But even with possession, things like was it Talk to Me, from the
Mhm.
Philippou brothers, if done in a refreshing way, you can still do a vampire movie. Sinners, Nosferatu even took an old IP but made it fresh and new and something completely different. It leaned
Right.
more on that gothic romance rather than Dracula scares.
Right.
So there are ways that they can do all this stuff, but the greater universe, the larger universe is just, it's like what happened for a while with found footage. It's just, it feels like it's almost becoming gimmicky in a lot of things. Well, we
Yeah.
just have to do this whole universe and everything's got to be interconnected, and then we don't have to follow timelines and we can bounce around. So it's just one of those things you got to kind of be real careful with it.
Right.
Though
Like,
I will give Conjuring credit. They did a good job by not over saturating us with so much stuff.
right. Right. It's like when Sinners came out, people were like, "Oh, we need a whole Sinners universe," and I'm like, "We
Mhm.
don't.
Yeah.
Let
No,
this movie breathe."
right. I mean, and I do appreciate that that Ryan Coogler has said that this is a one and done thing.
Mhm.
But my horror loving head, there are two movies that I want to see. One of them has nothing to do with the supernatural. I want to see The Boys in Chicago.
Mhm.
I want to see that story. I just want to see that action drama of them in Chicago. But on the horror side, I want to see the start of like the Native American backstory to the vampire people. Um, but I respect Ryan Coogler. If he doesn't want it, then I'm all for not doing it. But my head says I want to know more. I want to know more.
Right.
Give me more. Shout out real quick, Big Meanie. Apparently, he said he was finally able to connect. YouTube has been giving him grief for the last hour, so nice to see you in there with us. Yeah, my YouTube was acting silly earlier today too, so glad they got their crap together. But do you, in general, do you like the shared universe thing, the greater universe?
Yes and
You take
no.
right.
Yeah, yes and no, because
Yeah.
yes, when it works, like Like, I mean, I'm
Right.
not a big Conjuring fan. I
Yeah.
think I've seen The Conjuring and I've seen The Nun, but no, actually I saw the other one about the devil. I forgot what it's called, but I saw
Devil
that
Made
one
Me Do
too.
It.
Yeah, The
The
Devil Made Me
Devil
Do It.
Made
I watched that
Yeah.
one too. Um, I like it when it works, you
Yeah.
know.
Sure.
Um, as much as I
Yeah.
love Paranormal Activity,
That
as
became a
much
huge universe.
it became a huge universe. Like,
Yeah.
it expanded from just,
Is it like 9 or 10 films now?
I think we're on 7 right
Is it
now.
only
I think it's only
I don't remember. There's
7.
like it's like 4 or 5 numbered and then 2 or and then like 3 that have like the marked ones or
Yeah, the marked
whatever.
ones, and then the final
Yeah.
one, I can't remember the
Yeah.
final Paranormal Activity, but it was well, let's use air quotes, final Paranormal
Right.
Activity. Um, and actually that last one was really, really good. However,
Yeah.
everything in between,
Yeah.
yes, I get it. Y'all try to they connected every single movie to that first movie.
Really? See, and
Every
I
single
never
movie
saw
was
it.
connected to that first movie.
I have not watched a single one of the sequels. I've only seen the OG Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, every single one is connected to the original movie, especially the marked ones. The marked ones is in the future, and then they
Yeah.
go back to the past
To the Yeah,
to the
because it's
first one.
so Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the marked ones, the Ghost Dimension and Next of
The
Kin.
ghost
So
dimension.
they did, and shout out to Angel from Voices of the Mausoleum. I just recorded an episode of Top 10 Found Footage Films with her last night. That'll
Nice.
come out on the 25th, or it'll come out right in time for game night.
Nice.
But shout out to her because we were talking about these Paranormal Activity movies. So I guess the sequels, they had some really good ones. I saw the original in theaters
Me too.
and I really enjoyed it, but I have a hard time with found footage because I get super motion sick. So if the camera moves too much,
Yeah. So
I
the good
go,
thing about Paranormal Activity
that's a
2 is
lot.
it's mostly just
Stick, and that's why the first Paranormal Activity worked so well for me, because it was all about like Mika and Angela, I think, putting that stationary camera and let's watch what happens when we're not around. So
yeah.
it's not a lot of this moving camera going on. So that made them easier to watch. But
Yeah, the second one is all security cam
security
footage.
cameras,
So,
yeah,
it doesn't get shaky until the marked ones, and that's when they're actually, like, doing it with a handheld camera. But most
sure,
like 3 and 4, I think 4 is it 3 or 4? One of them actually goes back to when, the girls were little girls,
uh,
and and it's they set up cameras. So, yeah, the
mhm,
the marked ones is the one that has the shaky cam footage, and
yeah,
and I'm like you. I'm like, it's
nice,
cool when it was cool for the
yeah.
Blair Witch Project, but I'm good on everything else.
Right. I can. It's got to be used sparingly,
Right.
especially now because so many things like found footage with everybody having a camera on their cell phone, and the cameras have built-in stabilizers, so it's a lot less shaky cam. They can just People who are filming with their cameras are able to control a lot of that, so some of that should go away. But
Yeah. So what do you think about them rebooting the Blair Witch franchise?
I well, first of all, let me get this out of the way. Blair Witch 2 sucked.
Of
It
most
was
definitely.
such a freaking waste. Just gotta say it. I can't let it go. Um, but I like that. Was it Eduardo Sanchez was back for the reboot,
Mhm.
reimagining? But no, it was unnecessary, because so for me, the Blair Witch Project was such a perfect movie because I was like, well, 1999. I was 20 years old. I was in the Marines, and I saw all of the like real news magazines were
Mhm.
reporting this like it was a legit thing, like this really happened, and we all thought it did. It was that original viral marketing campaign. It it can only work once, because now we're jaded and we're never going to believe it again. And
Right.
that one we believed it, and the fact that you never saw anything, and the minute that it kind of gets scary. She drops the camera and it's over. Like
Listen,
it lived in a perfect moment that will forever be, to me, that's what makes it such a great movie, because it lives in that perfect space. I think that that's the one you leave alone.
yeah, they
But
I think Bloomhouse is in the mix
yeah,
to reboot the
Blumhouse.
Blair Witch, did you see the other Blair Witch where they it was like 20 years later?
I didn't watch it, but I saw about it, just because I don't, so many times sequels, a bad sequel can ruin the original movie, and I had to work really hard to not let Book of Shadows ruin Blair Witch for me, that
Book of
I have not
Shadows.
watched any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
But
So
Book of Shadows is garbage.
the Blair Witch, that's what it's called. I
Mhm.
think it's called Blair Witch. That or
Yeah,
the Blair Witch. No,
the
it's called
Blair
Blair
Witch.
Witch.
Yeah.
It takes place where what's the girl's name? The girl's brother is looking for her. And so they end up
Uh,
going out into the woods. Heather,
Heather got
yeah.
confused, yeah.
Yeah, Heather's brother is looking for her, and
Mhm,
he's like, he finds this video on YouTube, and he was like, there she is right there. And I was like,
mhm.
it couldn't have been me. She'd have still been out there in the woods.
Yeah.
Would have been no movie.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah,
all found footage, same deal.
same,
But it's
sure.
not it didn't have the same feel as the original Blair Witch movie. You could tell,
Yeah,
like, I mean, it gave off different vibes, and it introduced new
right,
characters. It wasn't just three people this time; it was a whole group of people that went out,
yeah,
and it it
and
tried to end the same way as Blair Witch, and it just didn't
yeah.
work.
And I know that it, like, they did do a pretty good job with Blair Witch franchising it out, doing, because they did books, they did comic books, they did television shows, like, um in 99, before the movie came out,
Hmm.
they actually did like the Sci-Fi Channel,
A
back before it was
a
SYFY, they did the
mockumentary.
mockumentary, but
Yeah.
didn't advertise it as a mockumentary, just called
No.
Curse of the Blair Witch. So
Yeah.
it was building this whole idea. And then by the time it came out on video, I was working at Blockbuster, and it was rented out in a 2-pack. One video was the movie Blair Witch, the other was this another documentary called Sticks and Stones: An Exploration of the Blair Witch Legend.
Wow.
That, so you got both. So, and when the movie came out on VHS, because that's what we used at the time, it
Hmm.
was, we now knew that it was no longer real, but now we're getting this whole greater idea, this bigger, greater legend.
Right.
But beyond that, so they did those couple of TV show type things, and they even did video games. Like,
Yeah.
Blair Witch became its own thing. But yeah, now I know Jason Blum for Bloomhouse does have the rights, and nothing has come out yet, but there is an untitled film that they've got writers, so they've got a story that they like. Um, I will be okay with it if they step away from this original story. If it's new characters, new adventure, do something new, but keep the vibe there. And because that's what happened with Book of Shadows. It was a sequel that had nothing to do with the reality of that other movie.
Right.
Um, yeah, I hate that movie.
I think what I said was, and I think I said this on the Blurred AF, um, was if they're gonna redo Blair Witch,
Mhm.
make it to where it's not found footage, but
Yes,
yet we're following these characters that are retracing the steps of
sure.
the people from the original Blair Witch, right?
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
I know what I said. They go to the house where the three of them perished, basically.
Yes. Where they
And
find, yeah, where Michael was last seen standing in the corner.
right.
Yeah.
And if you are gonna do found footage, let's make it to where it's a live stream. And then you
Right.
set up cameras all around the house, and you're like, we're gonna stay
Mhm.
in this house overnight, and we're going to investigate what happened, like, like a
Mhm.
ghost hunter type thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're
Oh
going to
yeah.
do that, go all in.
Right. Yeah, and that's actually the Sepkin topic, the whole found footage and mockumentary resurgence. It's picking up, it's getting huge again. And I think what I like about it is it's not trying to recreate the Blair Witch. They're using the all of the new forms of media, the TikTok,
Hmm.
YouTube live stream thing. Because again, talking with Angel yesterday during our talking found footage movies, if you think about like just for yourself and myself, we probably have 100 hours of unreleased material of us talking. So if we magically disappeared tomorrow, the first thing anybody's going to do, the first thing the detectives are going to do is go through all of that footage and see if there are any clues, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
that is just that. And I don't have as much as most creators probably, because most of mine is all spoken word. I don't do a lot of video editing. I just talk a lot
Right.
because, well, I talk a lot. But anyways, but yeah, this is where it's all investigation is going to begin, because it's so easy for creators to do. So now incorporating a TikTok short or an Instagram reel or a live stream, all of those things are great ways to revamp the found footage
Hmm.
and keep it fun.
Yeah.
But with that, have you watched VHS Halloween yet?
Not yet. Not
All
yet.
right. Well, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Sure.
I heard it
I
was
did.
good.
I didn't like it. I'm just going to say I didn't like it. I'm hearing a lot of good things, but a few people that I've talked to, Patrick Bark from the Bark Knight, friend of ours,
Hmm.
he didn't love it either. But I was told by someone who did like it, if you go in expecting it to be a little more campy and just fun, don't expect a serious film, you'll like it a lot more than I did.
Hmm.
Um, so hopefully that makes it better. But there are a lot coming out right now. VHS for the most part, VHS 99, VHS 99, VHS 85 are all really well done and they're
Hmm.
enjoyable. And then this whole found footage mockumentary thing can be done well. I would love to see a modern Friday the 13th, a modern Jason told through campers' Instagram stories.
Oh, that would be dope.
See,
That would be dope.
I could get down with something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to I want a episodic television show about Jason.
Right.
I just want to hang out with Jason as he's doing his dishes. Not that Jason doesn't clean dishes, but
Not as he cleaning the
I
dishes.
I want to see Jason doing everyday things.
Putting laundry away.
Putting his laundry away, cleaning up for mama, making the room look good, dusting around
Right.
mama's head on the shelf.
That's crazy.
But
But
have you heard about this upcoming movie, The Cursed Files?
no.
So it's supposed to be this like blending the different formats that we're talking about, the different so it's going to be I guess it actually already came out, but it's about this guy. His father dies and he inherits his dad's house and possessions, and when he's clearing everything out, he starts to discover all of these old home videos, strange symbols and evidence that his dad had kept this monster locked away in the basement. But it's supposed to use a lot more of the different found footage, found object, found like different things within the idea, but also while just following a character who, as he finds everything. So it's
Mm,
incorporating it into a normal storyline, but done in this really kind of fun way. And it's supposed to be more atmosphere and not CGI monsters and everything. So it's going to be more practical. But yeah, I think it's another one of those really low budget. They made the whole movie for like $70,000. So it's either going to be absolutely freaking amazing or it's going to be garbage. Hot, steaming garbage.
Or somewhere in between.
Uh,
Somewhere in between.
uh, so yeah, I want to see it because I like the idea, but we'll see.
It's almost like there's a horror movie, Deadstream.
Yeah, I put that one's in my notes here. Deadstream from 2022
Yeah.
and Outwaters from 23.
Yeah, Deadstream was interesting because it was more of a horror comedy
Mhm.
type deal, where the dude used different, types of media. He was recording from his phone. He was, he had
Yeah.
camera set up, and we kind of bounced in between, the camera, static cameras, and his, his actual, like, handheld camera that he had on him. And then, between his tablet and things like that.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
and that's what I said about the Blair Witch. I said you could totally, and also Ganjam Asylum was set up that way too, to where
Yeah.
they had, it
Mhm.
was like a live stream show. They had somebody that was camped outside that was the
Mhm.
producer for the show, while everybody else
Yeah.
went and investigated the asylum, and
Yeah.
they all had their own, like,
Mhm.
camera setups, but they were also like, hidden cameras all around the asylum as well too. And
Yeah.
that's why I say you could do the Blair
And
Witch just like that, but you gotta,
yeah,
it, you gotta
right.
do it right.
Yeah, I just watched on Shutter the other day this a movie from 2013 called WNUF Halloween Special.
Hmm.
It's based so these they they paid a small amount of money and got a bunch of like um old B-roll footage from old commercials from the 80s,
Hmm.
and they intersplice them in, and it's basically like they found a tape from 1987 that it has all these really crappy commercials every so often.
Hmm.
And then the story is a news anchor on Halloween is going to do a live report from a haunted house and
Mm.
all the crazy stuff that happens. So horror comedy, but they filmed everything with like old fashioned VHS cameras and cut it together the old fashioned way. But there are ways they can do it without. They even do this thing where the when you're seeing a commercial for the second or third time, they fast forward through it. So you see the fast forward squiggly lines and
Oh,
the
that's
whole
pretty
thing. So
cool.
there
Hmm.
are really good ways to keep it fresh and to keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's
yeah, there are ways.
especially with the way social media is now, what I'm saying? Like you said, everybody
Yeah.
has a cell phone. We can all live stream, we can record. Um,
Mhm.
there, not saying there hasn't been horror movies that haven't leaned into the social media aspect. There have. Um,
Yeah.
but they mostly lean into the live streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
give
Yeah.
me a social media horror movie where somebody was recording all night.
Yeah.
Not
But
live streaming.
don't give me the stupid sending the sending a bunch of influencers to go meet up their doom with
Yeah.
Leatherface.
Yeah,
I don't want to
give
see
me, like, some
Leatherface
regular
killing white
people.
people. Yeah. That so yeah, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Everybody knows 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's my favorite movie, my favorite horror movie. They almost killed the franchise by having Leatherface murder a bus full
Of
of
influencers.
influencers. So there are good ways to do it, and then there's that. That is a bad way.
Yeah.
That is a
And that's
really,
what I mean by,
really
like, redoing Blair Witch. Don't make it
Mhm.
influencers. Make it to
No
where they are, like, Blair Witch,
enthusiast.
fans, yeah,
Yeah.
enthusiasts. They grew up watching
Mhm.
the Blair Witch. They know that the Blair Witch isn't. They know that the Blair Witch movie is not real. However,
Yeah.
it's never been proven that the Blair Witch didn't exist.
Right. That they can go with the idea that every lie is born of a grain of truth, and the grain of
Yes.
truth is that in Burkittsville there was a witch back
Mm.
in this time, and that's their kicking off point. And so
Right.
they're just huge Blair Witch fans, and they're gonna go visit filming locations.
That
And
part.
now those filming locations are cursed because of what this film opened up. Maybe
Right.
the crossed sticks, maybe that was an ancient rune symbol that brought things, like, who knows? Like, there's a million ways you could go and make it good. But just don't copy what already happened. Be
No.
original,
Mm-hmm.
but honor what already happened. Don't pretend it never existed and do something like Book of Shadows.
Right. Because Book of Shadows was exact. Oh, Book of Shadows sounds just exact. It was people who had seen the Blair Witch movie. They were
Mhm.
fans of the Blair Witch movie.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, we have this Burkittsville tour that'll take you to all of
Mhm.
because they
Right.
were leaning on the fact that the Blair Witch was real. But I like
Yes.
the idea of them going to the shooting locations. And
Mhm.
then they're like, we found on the map the actual house that they filmed the
Where they
final
filmed that at.
scenes of the Blair Witch
Yeah.
in, and it just so happens that it's real.
That's where we're gonna go. Yeah, because that is something that either one of us would gladly go and do. Like, we
Right.
would go to filming sites. Literally, this last weekend, I was in the town of St. Helens, Oregon, where 1998's Disney Channel original film Halloween Town was filmed,
Yeah.
and a bunch of stuff from the first Twilight movie was filmed in this town. So I was seeing all kinds of location shots, locations where things happened and different stuff like that. I will nerd out over things like that. So why
Right.
not start where fans start? So
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
I think that would be great. That would be a great
Again,
movie.
Jason Blum, you've got a couple people right here. Give us a call. We'll help you. We'll sit in that writer's room and we'll make it happen. We'll make it
Right.
happen.
Like I will sit with y'all and be like, no, that's stupid.
And I
Do
do
it
want
this
to
way.
shout out the streaming service Found TV.
Yes. Love that.
If you even have a passing fancy, you sometimes like some found footage. They have an ungodly number of found footage shows, movies to choose from. Go check it out. It's on everything. You can get it on Roku, on Amazon Fire TV, all of
Mm-hmm.
it. It's everywhere. Go check out Found TV. I had a lot of fun with it. I got it because of our discussion with Mario Cerrito, because it was the only way I could find Human Hibachi 2.
Yes.
Um, Go check it out. It's a great,
Yes.
great,
Please go watch
great.
Found TV. It's great.
Yeah,
That's where I watched
yeah,
Ganjam Asylum.
yeah, yeah. And if you listen in 2 weeks, if you listen to Angel and I doing our top 10, and you want to watch any of the movies on there, most of them are on Found TV. So
Yes.
check it out. So another big thing this year, it was 45 years ago that Friday the 13th took off. We all know that, spoiler alert, it wasn't Jason in the first movie.
Yeah.
It was Mrs. Voorhees. But Jason has become the most famous hockey mask killer of all time. And the what's great about this movie, it's the film that really helped, like, find the final definition of what is the final girl. Black Christmas and Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre started doing it, but this really solidified that, the seemingly helpless girl who finds that inner reserve of strength and is able to defeat the killer. It really created a lot of that stuff. It also furthered the idea that the shape that Michael Myers had, where it was sort of the slow moving villain.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, Mrs. Voorhees, Pamela never had to run. They were just never going to stop. So they were always going to catch you. So where are you a fan of Friday the 13th?
Yes. I mean, obviously big three will always
Sure.
be,
Oh yeah.
will be for me. But
Yeah.
Jason is out of the three, Jason is
Mhm.
probably I love the Jason movies. I don't
Yeah.
care how many times I've seen a
Yeah.
Jason movie. I know I'm still like in shock and awe most of the time at the kills that Jason
Yeah.
has done over the years.
Well, the,
But like going back to the first one though, like,
yeah.
it's it does definitely remind me of Scream when they're like,
Mhm.
who was that trick question, who is the killer in Friday the
Yeah.
13th? And
Yeah.
everybody will immediately say Jason.
Jason.
And they're
Mhm.
like, no,
No.
the original killer in Friday the
It's
13th
yeah.
was Mrs.
Pamela
Voorhees.
Voorhees. Yeah.
And, it just going back and rewatching that and knowing that Jason wasn't the killer and
Yeah.
how calculated Mrs.
Yeah.
Voorhees was.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So, and when you know that it's Pamela, that she is the killer, and then you think back to the beginning
Mhm.
and the in the past when it's the year after her son has died, killing the counselors, all of a sudden that you're like, well, maybe she's not. I mean, she's not completely wrong. Like, she didn't handle it in the best way, but she's not wrong. These were the people she kills in 1980, the Kevin Bacon and them, they're new people. They didn't have anything, but that
Yeah.
first group,
Oh, they
they
deserved
were they deserved maybe not to get murdered, but Pamela
it.
was not the arch villain at that point. She was kind of like, you chose to let my son die.
Right.
Imagine, like, you let this happen. Yeah.
So and the way that I describe it to people is that Pamela Voorhees was doing everything in her power to avoid to avoid the thing that happened to her son to happen to another child.
Ever happening again.
And
Yep.
that's exactly how but of course in her mind she did snap, you know what I'm saying? Did
She
she have to
did.
kill
Sure.
everybody? No, she could have just talked to
Yeah.
I mean, she did talk to Chrissy.
Mhm.
She did talk to him and was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
don't open this camp." And he was like,
Yeah,
"If you don't
whatever.
go somewhere,
Yeah.
I'm about to make this money."
Yeah. I think we gotta reopen. We
Right.
got
So, did she go about it wrong?
Sure,
Yes. She
but it
sure she
doesn't
did.
mean she wasn't technically right.
I
She
mean,
was
she was just
technically
again, she was
right.
just trying to protect other kids from meeting the
Yeah,
same fate that
from
her
the same
son
fate.
met.
Yep.
Because she
Yeah.
as so I'm pretty sure she was watching from the woods and she was like, listen, these kids out here the same, like just like the kids
Mhm.
back then.
Just like
They just
yep.
all they care about is sex. Okay,
Oh,
say
yeah.
less. That's
They
okay.
don't care about my kid. They're not here to watch my kid. They want a
Right.
paycheck and some hanky panky.
Right.
Wow, I
So
just labeled myself as old. I said hanky panky.
hanky panky.
Hanky panky. But yeah, so if you just, not in any official countdown or anything, but of the movies, what is your favorite? What is the best of the Friday the 13th movies to you? I know
I'm
we originally became friends because of our mutual love of Jason and Jason X, but I think we both agree that is not the best movie in the series, right? It is one of the most fun because it's absolutely freaking ridiculous and I love it, but
yes.
it is not the one.
It
So
is
what is your
definitely part 6 when Jason becomes
oh,
zombie Jason.
oh, really?
When Tommy makes the big mistake of
Yeah,
digging Jason up
digging to get up.
and
Yeah,
then proceeds to stab him in his non-existing beating heart.
right.
And
And then
then lightning
and then
strikes him
lightning
and he
strikes and
becomes zombie
bam.
Jason.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
yeah, of
you
course it
couldn't
gives
leave him alone. You
it
couldn't leave
gives
him.
Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Frankenstein's
Oh yeah.
monster
Sure.
getting
Oh
shocked
yeah.
by lightning, coming back to life.
For
And then
sure.
Jason now becomes an unstoppable killing force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
For me, it's part 4, the final Friday. I love the story. I love how Corey Feldman as the original Tommy does the, like, shaves his head and does that crazy and uses
Mhm.
his abilities with makeup. And I love Crispin Glover doing whatever that dance thing
That
was
little
that
funky dance he was
his
doing.
dance that he does. But I like all of the characters in that one. For me, that is my favorite. But just for fun, if I just want to have fun, there, other than maybe part 5,
Yeah, that's when
because
we
that
get it got
the part
weird.
5 is rough for me. That the whole opening with the crazy mom and husband and son thing that's going on there, and the
Mhm.
fact that it's not a Voorhees family member that's the killer this time.
Right, right.
That one, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to let the legend carry without it being Jason anymore. And it's a great idea, but it's too late now. We've already got 3 movies of Jason. You just got to be Jason.
Right.
I don't like that one. Other than that, though, I part 3 gets a lot of hate, but it has some iconic stuff. I mean, that's where the
Yeah.
Jace the hockey mask comes from.
Mhm.
Um, and it also introduces the heavy set character who like does little practical jokes and does Hollywood makeup type stuff, which is then what Corey Feldman's character of Tommy Jarvis does so well to help him defeat him in the next movie. So there's some kind of cool carryover stuff there.
Mhm.
But one thing that I always love about Friday the 13th movies, every single one of them, right near the end, they have to take off the mask and you get to see
Yes.
Jason. And
Yeah.
he is always different, some kind of weird, grotesque, different looking dude
Yeah.
every time. And I love it. Even the one where when he rips it off, he looks like a leftover deadite from an Evil Dead movie that didn't
I think
get
that's part
made.
8.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, but I love it. I still love it. It's great.
Yeah, because we went from him looking one way in the original movie, and they
Mhm.
stuck to it, in the
Yeah.
second movie when he had
Mhm.
the back when he I call him Hillbilly Jason.
Hillbilly.
When he was Hillbilly Jason, they stuck to the original face, but like you
Mhm.
said, over
Yeah,
time, the face has
it kept
changed,
it
and
does. And it makes sense that the face changes because he is technically undead, right? So you would think that it's going to deteriorate over time. It's going to like electrocuted, brought back to life. Jason has to look different
yes.
than the original Jason. Well, once he had a machete go into the side of his head at the end of 3, now he has to look different in 4.
Mhm.
And you don't have to go, and they don't, but you don't have to do any kind of continuity. You don't have to have that slash. You
Right.
just have to make him uglier than he was before. And boy, do they make him ugly.
They
I
made
love
him
it. It's so
ugly.
funny, so funny. But even the bad movies, even like part 5 or part 7 when he goes to Manhattan, like these are all there is something about them that makes them easy to watch.
Mhm.
Like you and not one of them I don't think is over 90 minutes long, so they're all quick. They're easy watches. And if you go to your local Walmart right now, you can actually buy the Friday the 13th pack where it comes with the red and blue 3D glasses, so you
Nice.
can watch part 3 in 3D, so
I think I own that.
you can see our from our opening the spear through the eye. There's just a lot of fun stuff with it. Is of the big 3, the Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason's your is he your favorite of the big 3?
Well, it's crazy because Freddie always has been my favorite because I
Yeah,
watched the movie. That's the very
yeah,
first movie I
sure,
watched when I was 5.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely Freddie's probably my
it's,
favorite. And
yeah,
it's not because he's comical or he has
right.
one-liners or anything like that.
The
Is
the more stand-up comedian Freddy gets, the less I like him.
exactly like I'm with the original Freddie and New Nightmare Freddie. Like
New
New
Nightmare
Nightmare
Freddy
Freddie
is
is
another level of who. If you could give me the New Nightmare Freddy with the makeup of part 1 Freddy,
oh yes.
oh my, that is the ultimate Freddy villain. Like, and yeah, and then with my Jasons, I love Kane Hodder. He's awesome. He's big and he's hulking, but there is something about the hillbilly Jason, as you call him,
Yes.
in that first. I give him the mask. I like the hockey mask. It's unique. It's awesome. Give him the hockey mask, but I want him built like that first Jason.
Yeah, where he's
Not
not so
Jason coming out of the pool, out of the water, but I want
yeah.
the skin. I mean, because this is a guy who lives in the woods. He's
Yeah.
foraging. He's only what he can kill and grab is all he's eating.
Yeah.
He's not going to be this big hulking monster. I
He,
like that.
as much as I love the Friday the 13th remake, I
Yeah.
love the Friday the
Well,
13th remake.
with the what's his face, the giant.
He's like
Yeah,
7'1" and looks
yeah,
like he bench presses boulders.
yeah, yes, yes.
And I'm with you. I like the smaller Jason because it
Mhm.
gives the effect that this man has been living in the woods
Yeah,
on his own with his mama's head. You know what I'm saying? Like, and foraging off the land, right? You know what I'm
that's
saying?
exactly what it is.
Killing whatever he can get his
Whatever you can get.
hands on,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Not this lumbering
right.
giant
Just a
that
huge mass.
that can throw an axe perfectly.
Right.
Like
Yes.
when did he have time to practice?
Right. Yeah. Because you know he doesn't have a lot of axes just hanging out.
Right. So I do love, and I'm nitpicking the Friday the 13th movie, but
Yeah,
I
no,
do love that movie. But there's a lot of
right.
things in that movie when it comes
No.
to Jason that doesn't make
Mhm.
sense, you know.
Yes. And I'm not, I totally agree. And I'm not saying that Jason has to make sense.
Right.
Dude's undead, no, for no reason at all, just coming back and wanting to kill camp counselors. It doesn't have to make sense.
Right.
But
Right.
if I'm making the perfect Michael Myers is the first Halloween Michael
Hmm.
Myers, clean mask, just in the suit. The perfect Jason is Hillbilly Jason. Freddy needs to be dark and menacing,
Yes.
and look like his skin is still like wet from
Yes.
the burning, and like there are certain things. Candyman needs to look like, well, no,
I
rest in
mean,
peace, Tony
rest in
Todd.
peace, Tony Todd. Like,
Um,
let's not
because I do want to
revisit that
see. I
franchise
want
ever again.
no,
Leave it alone.
well, or if you're gonna do it, do what we've talked about in the past. Give me the Candyman through the generations. Each
Yeah.
generation's different Candyman, but
Hmm.
no, but there we get this idealized vision, and it's going to be different for everyone. I get it. Big Meanie out there is probably going to be gonna like a different Jason than the Jason that I like or you like. But that's what's so fun about the Jason movies is there's a movie out there that gives you the Jason you like,
Right.
um,
Right. Right.
of all kinds. How do you think the original would be perceived if the original Friday the 13th were made today? Do you think it would be bloodier? Of course,
Hmm.
there would probably be a little bit more um, naked ladies because
Yeah.
that's what sells a slasher.
Yeah.
But do you think how do you think it would be perceived today if it was made for originally, not remade, brand new, just came out today?
Um, it'd probably be, I mean, like you said, it of course it'd be with the times. If they made it for today, everybody would be an influencer for some reason.
You know they would.
But I feel like it would have been receptive today.
Mhm.
Because you know, a female killer is always gonna bring is I mean, and not knowing who the killer is, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
versus
Yeah.
a Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger. We spend the whole movie of Friday the 13th trying
Mhm.
to figure out who the killer is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would almost have it would almost be like a M. Night Shyamalan movie where the twist at the end is that Mrs. Voorhees has been the killer the whole time. And you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I do think that the twist ending would still play very, very well.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean, we still love that. Big Meanie actually says the Jason from Freddy versus Jason. That's his Jason. See, and exactly, and that's what's great about this is there isn't a right answer because
Right.
it's all very like I also understand that my favorite kill in all the Jason movies is the sleeping bag.
Yes.
And you
That's
have
my
to have a
favorite.
cane hawk. you have to have a cane hodder. You have to have a monster of a human to be able to do that. I love
Right.
that kill. I like the kill on the rooftop when he knocks dude's head right off. Like,
He's like, take your best shot. I'm like, boy, if you don't run,
why would you
why would you do
shut your
that?
mouth?
Shut
Shut
your
your mouth.
mouth.
Yeah.
I know you tired, but run. He's
I
not
do
gonna catch
know.
you.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, though, so hasn't been any news since June or July, but Fangoria did say that there is a new Friday the 13th movie and game in the works. So there might be something coming eventually.
Unless they're
Back
doing a
in
sequel
July
to Friday
25th.
the 13th, the remake, I don't
Mm.
want don't reinvent the wheel. Keep the
Right.
horror going.
That's another thing, is this whole reboot, reimagining, just if you're gonna do it, just keep going with it. We've already got 11 of the original series. Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep going. Just
Yeah.
keep it going.
Do a sequel to the requel.
Yeah, right. Or if you want to carry on the new storyline, you can do that one too, because enough people liked the reboot.
Mhm.
So you can carry off that storyline. It either has to be the original Jason, or it has to continue this new Jason. Please do
I-
not give me another reimagining of the world of Jason. And
and do
don't give
it.
me a prequel.
Oh no. So that's what we're getting. We are going to get a prequel, but it's going to be a television show. And it's
Yeah.
going to focus on like Pamela working at Camp Crystal Lake and before the events that happened with. But then again,
Yeah.
I'm like, how are y'all going to make this? How are y'all going to make this prequel work? Is Pamela still going to be
Yeah.
not too kooky? You
Right.
know, is she going to be
Yeah.
killing people too?
Yeah.
Because we know it's not going
Yeah.
to be Jason if it's a prequel,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um,
Or
but
do you do, or is it a prequel to, is it post the first movie but a prequel to part 2, so it happens somewhere in that middle?
nah, they've already started filming and they've shown the girl that's going to play Pamela Voorhees. This is supposed to
Oh,
be prior
is
to the first movie.
because
And that's why
there's
I said,
also
are we
the,
getting a Bates Motel type situation?
I'm okay with that. That'd be fine.
Right. If we're
Let
getting
me
a Bates Motel situation, then sign me
Right.
up.
I think it would be really fun to see that, what happens in the original movie. Pamela knows that Jason's not dead. She's been teaching him and training him and keeping him alive and living away from everybody all of this time.
Hmm.
So like that would be a really cool thing to see. And then there's supposed to be this like a short film called Sweet Revenge.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah, it was
Is it?
to me. Okay, we talk about good kills. There is
Yeah.
one good kill in that short film. Like I was like,
Mhm.
whoa,
Yeah.
that is not Jason Voorhees, but I will take it.
I'm gonna have to
It
check.
definitely
I
gave
have to
Mike
check it out.
Myers.
It's on the Jason Universe YouTube channel, I think,
Yes,
right?
yeah. Hmm.
It's out.
But basically, it's just a long beer ad.
Yeah, because it's tied to Angry Orchard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a
it's
long
got,
beer ad.
yeah. It's, if you into cider, come watch our commercial.
Basically, but it's
Yeah,
the twist in that one is weird. It's weird.
yeah,
The twist in that one is
yeah.
there is a twist in that one. It's weird. And I was like, I don't
So
get it, but I got it. I guess
yeah,
I get it. I don't know.
and I think so. According to this, well, it's Wikipedia, so who knows if it's accurate. But the Crystal Lake show is supposed to be Pamela Voorhees and young Jason.
Yeah.
So they are going to do more of
A
a
Bates Motel.
Bates Motel kind of thing. I'm just wondering, is it going to be prior to the drowning, or is it going to be after the drowning? Like
I think it's
which
probably gonna
side
lead up to the
lead up
drowning.
to the drowning? And then
Mhm.
if there's enough call for it, maybe show us after the drowning.
Yeah, and then now we see Pamela snap and she starts taking out camp counselors.
Yeah.
Prior to like all the two camp counselors that we saw were just the beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
And
That was,
then
yes, because she does the stories, the campfire stories that they tell, is that she wiped out the whole camp.
Right,
So we do know
exactly.
that. Dave actually chimed in and says they could go way back to the Voorhees family at Ellis Island in 06. So we're gonna go back to great grandpa not Pam. That's the mom. Patrick Voorhees coming over
Right.
from
Ireland.
from Ireland. Yeah, I am all for a TV series. I like the idea of a TV series. Speaking of these greater universes, I just lost his name, but the what the Nightmare American Horror Story.
Oh,
That
Ryan
whole-
Murphy.
Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy's does a great job in creating these universes around. So whether it's, I like the anthology way that he does that, but they take part in the greater horror story universe.
Right.
And there's always that one carryover character who goes between anthologies and things. There's a lot of fun stuff with those. They can do a lot, I think, with Jason. And now that, and at some point in Crystal Lake, I want Jason to have a nightmare that Freddy Krueger appears in.
Oh,
To allude to Freddy.
to allude to Freddy versus Jason. Yes, that actually would work. Because and I know Big Meanie, I know you said Freddy versus Jason is one of your favorite movies. Don't get me wrong, I like Freddy versus Jason too. However, when did Jason end up in a grave?
Well, he's in the
Because
grave.
remember he was in the grave at the beginning of Freddy versus Jason, and then he dug himself, and that's how Freddy was able to get to him. How did Jason end up in the grave? If we end it with, let's say we end it with, okay, actually, I that makes sense. They basically jumped to before 6 when Jason was in the grave.
At the end of Jason Goes to Hell.
He pulls him into the ground and pulls him to hell. But at the beginning of Freddy versus Jason, Jason's in a grave, right? Yeah. And Freddy's like, "Oh, it's time for you to wake up.
Yeah.
Come out your grave and do things."
Yeah, we are talking about Jason Voorhees. It doesn't have to always make sense.
And that's what I say. And that's why I say, maybe
you're right.
Maybe they went between 5 and 6, and that's when this is when Freddy versus Jason takes place.
I think specifically he's talking that's his favorite Jason.
Okay.
The big hulking.
No, he said I love that movie. He does say I love
He
loves that movie. So again, Big Meanie, I know you love that movie.
I love Jason X, so I can't.
I love Jason X too, and Jason X don't make no kind of sense. Zero. It's just a good time.
It's got the greatest cryo freeze death scene ever.
Oh man. You want to talk about if we're talking favorite death scenes, that one's top of my list.
That's right.
Top of my list. Like you cannot beat the cryo freeze. Like that girl was like,
yeah. So hopefully we get some updates. I guess Sean Cunningham, the original producer director of the Friday the 13th movie, he thinks that the movie that was announced in July is probably 3 years out before it'll actually get fully made and produced.
All right. Give us less
see.
Hunking Jason. Give us a more realistic looking man.
Yeah. I like the realistic looking man. Yeah. So and Big Meanie he's with us. He's a sleeping bag kill kind of guy. So we're good. But I
like that Jason X doubled down on the sleeping bag kill.
Yeah. I love though the movie doesn't do anything with the claustrophobic vibe of being on a space station in outer space, but I love the idea of being trapped and nowhere to go.
Right.
With this killer who's just gonna walk slowly and
keep coming.
Get you.
Yes, he's still zombie Jason in Jason X. He is zombie Jason. He doesn't stop. You
But
can
he
shoot him.
somehow got a metal.
I liked his metal mask.
I like it. I think it looks good.
When the nano things made him made him a metal mask, I was like, oh, look at the upgrade.
What doesn't make sense is how or why they chose Crystal Lake to be the future NASA type location.
Yeah, to put a government facility.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
That made
it
all
doesn't
sense.
have to make sense.
It doesn't have to make sense.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's and that's the other thing is, and Dave and I talk about this all the time, is that especially with horror, you do not need to spell everything out for me.
Yeah.
Mystery is an amazing tool in horror. My imagination is darker, more graphic than what you're going to put on the screen anyways. Let my imagination work.
Yep. And that's why the end of the Blair Witch Project works, because we don't know what happened.
Because that movie is essentially 90 minutes of tension building with zero release at the end.
Zero.
All of a sudden you're just like, what? That's
when the camera fell over, I was like, all right, so the witch is about to pick it up and we gonna be looking right at her. Yeah. And then it just goes to black.
And then it's credits. And then credits.
And then it's like, you know what? I don't know how to process what I just watched.
Yeah, none of this makes sense. Yeah. And you got to sit with it. You got to sit with it.
It's almost like in like Paranormal Activity as well, too. The ending of Paranormal Activity where we do get the character when the girl at the end and she does her thing, but we're like, okay, so what happened after that?
Right. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, they found Mika's body, and you're like,
but
what? This is how the movie ends?
But that to me, I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I love that feeling. That's a good feeling in a horror movie.
There was a movie I watched that ended that way, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't.
Nah.
When I figure out what movie it was, I'm gonna text it to you so you can go and watch it. So you can be like, what too? Because
speaking of found footage, there is a movie that when it ended, I don't get scared very often. Things don't really creep me. I've seen too much. I've read too much. I'm jaded. But the Poughkeepsie tapes, that movie messed me up because it felt real.
It's right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right up there with Blair Witch. Like, creepy.
It felt real.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is another movie called Lake Mungo that everybody's like, this is the scariest movie that I've ever seen. No. Okay, so I watched it. And it didn't scare me per se.
No. But it got me emotional.
Though. Yeah, it's creepy and it does make you very emotional.
It got me emotional.
Yeah. It's not scary, but it's definitely it will definitely, if you're a parent and you watch this movie, you're definitely going to feel some type of way after you finish watching it.
Yeah. And then just kind of in a similar vein to the Poughkeepsie tapes, Session 9 is another one that'll get you feeling that way.
Yeah, Session 9 is a great movie.
Whoo.
I did that one with David, I think David Frost. And forgive me if you're watching this. But we talked about Session 9 and it was one of the movies he recommended. And I was like, I
remember when I watched Session 9, I hadn't heard of it. It was at a Hollywood Video. I just saw it. I was like, I need to watch something. I got nothing going on. I grabbed it. I went home. And when it was, as soon as it ended, I said, Jennifer, my wife, I said, Jennifer, you got to watch this movie. I immediately watched it a second time right afterwards. And the second time she's watching it for the first time. And I'm watching it trying to pick up on any clues because I didn't see any clues. And the clues are there, but they're that movie. Yes. Watch Session 9. Watch Poughkeepsie tapes with the lights on.
The lights on.
That one at night. Leave the lights on. And have your favorite comedy TV show queued up to start right afterwards to cleanse your head.
Turn on Tom and Jerry. It's on Tubi.
Unless you're Marcus, then
he ain't watching on Tubi. Oh, also in the same vein as Session 9, if you ever watch Identity, basically Session 9 and Identity in the same way. So, but if you've never seen Identity, go watch Identity as well too. I very much like you. First time I watched Identity, I saw it in a movie theater. I had to wait for it to come out on DVD
to watch it a second
time, and I was just like, and I ended up owning. I still own Identity to this day. I own it.
So in Session 9, we watched it. I took it back and I bought it because they also had a couple of copies on there on the old previously viewed rack. So I immediately bought it.
Yeah, I will go back and watch Identity over. I was watching it over and over again just to go back and pick up and try to pick up on the clues to get to the end. And I was like,
Identity has it's all like multiple personality, like a criminal and so there's a lot to try to parse through and pick up on, and they really do a very good job of like telling fluid stories but breaking them up so that you don't piece it all together as you're watching the movie. So, really well done.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's going to bring us right up on the end. Mika, tell us, what do you got going on? I know we're in the middle of the 31 days of horror.
Yes. I'm still I did announce that game night is going to be on the 25th. There might be a change. I'm waiting to see and then the name of the author was Scott Frost. I just remembered. The one I did Session 9. Scott Frost. So if you go and follow him on Threads and Instagram, Books by Frost. But I just got an invite to go to see the Eagles and the Giants play at Lincoln Financial. So I'm just waiting for confirmation. But worst case scenario, I just take all my stuff with me and I film game night from the hotel room. So we'll see. But other than that, game night on the 25th, horror trivia. It's gonna be a costume party. Costume trivia night, so I'll be in costume. And me and the kid are gonna.
Is Marcus gonna dress up as a bag of Hawaiian rolls?
I don't think so. That would probably be Dre.
Actually, I need Marcus to dress up as the Tubi logo.
That's it's crazy. Tubi was actually did a giveaway for Tubi body bags. But they only gave away 100, and like it was Then they was like, oh, it's going to drop at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And like within 5 minutes, all the bags were gone. Wow. And I was like, wow. So, game night 25th. We're in the middle of 31 days of horror. I'll be, I'm in the middle of editing day 15 right now because I recorded everything and then I'm just editing as I go and getting them out. It's been fun. It's been fun doing 31 horror moments.
That's a lot. Like, I think if I decide to do anything like that for any month, it doesn't even have to be horror, just for anything in general, I would have to really, really plan ahead. So I would have to do, if we're just using horror, going to do 31 days of horror, I would have to start it now for next year because I am so slow at editing. Editing is the bane of my existence. It is the one thing I despise doing more than anything else in this whole social media podcaster world. But I would be like, the writing content, recording content, that's easy. But finding footage and doing background, I'm so bad at it. I hate it.
Yeah. I wish that I could just like hit a button and it would just do it automatically for me. But I'm having fun editing. Yeah, I'm having fun doing it. Like editing is, especially yesterday's video was so fun to edit. Like because it's one of my, I ain't gonna say it's my favorite scene from that movie because it's Dimsley Grim, okay? But the Hyatt Georgie like creeps me out every time.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. So check out all that. That's all at Cinematic Nightmares Podcast, YouTube, Threads, Instagram, right? That's your big three, right?
Yep.
And then I'm just real talk with we've got Couch Critics, Dave and I talking all things silly and nonsensical, but fun. At Couch Critics, we're never there to yuck your yum. We're just there to give you our opinion. So check us out there. Go check us out. Real Talks, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, all those places. I am hoping that sometime this evening, because today, if you don't know, today is the last day of Latin Heritage Month. It goes from September 15th to October 15th. I am trying to get that a video where I basically just talk about what Latin heritage is and give you 13 films that have meant something to me to hopefully drive that. That should go out later tonight. Check it out. And then always Mika check out the interview from Couch Critics where Mika joined us. It released about last Friday. Next week, you're going to get one with Will from the Red Treehouse and One Good Scare. And I'm super excited. I get to record with Will on Sunday. We're going to record an episode on The Gate because we all know I love The Gate. So we're going to record about that movie this weekend. But yeah, Big Meanie says thanks. And I thank you, buddy, for hanging out with us, doing this thing. Any parting words, Mika? Yeah, happy 45th birthday to Friday the 13th. Yeah, so don't forget to follow us, check out all the different shows, all of Mika's stuff. Mika's everywhere also. Check her out on the Blurred AF, check her out on the Popcorn in Your Beard. She's been MIA right now. She's working towards feeling better. Yeah. So you keep feeling better. And for Dave and I, we want to get you back on so you can talk to us about what it's like being on set, filming and all that.
I just finished filming too.
So yeah, that's what reminded me. She got sick right as she's getting ready to go film for a new movie.
But it was so rough. Yeah, oh my goodness, it's so rough.
All right. Well, until next week, everybody, stay spooky, stay curious, and keep watching those shadows.